Hey guys, welcome back. So we haven't done a video like this in a very long time, so I figured since there's a lot of newcomers on this channel and I don't know everybody's age, but I do feel like this video will help out people that are in their early 20s, or for anybody that doesn't know these certain things, this can definitely be very helpful. So let's just get on into the best purchases you can make in your 20s. So the first thing is a reliable vehicle, not those fancy cars to impress your friends, or not the cars that you have to go out and get a loan for because it's super pricey and you'll pay it off in 5 to 7 years from now. You want to get a reliable vehicle that's going to get you from A to B, because that's what cars are for. I fell into that trap as well, and when I was 21, like I always talk about this, I decided to grab a 2007 Cadillac STS back in the day that was considered like super fancy and new and in, and I dealt with the consequences of going through a buy here pay here and paying too much money for a car that was a lemon, aka a car that was already broken and kind of fixed up to make it look like there was nothing wrong with it. So long story short, cars are not investments. Like I said, they are to get you from point A to point B, and it's great to stick with brands that are affordable to fix. It's good to stick with Toyota, Honda, Chevy, certain brands like that that are, you know, have good gas mileage, easier to fix, and that are going to last you a long time, so you could put your hard-earned money into something else other than a dying car. Of course, I wish I would have known this back in the day, but we live and we learn, and I've went through, I think, like 10 cars until I got to where I'm at now. So it does take time, but if you could do this earlier on in your 20s, you could save yourself a lot of cash and a ton of aggravation. Next up is reusable items. Of course, I always talk about this on my channel. I own so many reusable items, from my menstrual cycle items to stuff in the kitchen, such as my sponges, my on paper towel rolls, things like that. The reason why I say this is because a lot of people that are in their early 20s move out and feel that they need to purchase paper towels and a bunch of sponges, along with like certain things that other people tell you that you really don't need. And I almost fell into this whole trap because I used to listen to the friends that I had back then, where they were like,
"You're gonna need paper towels, you're gonna need this and that," and
I'm like,
oh no, I'm not gonna be able to afford anything.
in all reality, there's other ways around those disposable items. Reusable items can save you money, help the planet, and also save you a ton of time, because you're not going out to the store and constantly repurchasing these items again. I will have some reusable items linked down below that are very useful, especially if you are starting out in your own apartment, or if you're just getting into the whole reusable item thing. I'll have it linked down below for you. That's one of the best purchases you can make in your 20s, is to get decent reusable items, because that's extra cash in your pocket, and of course you are helping out the environment at the same time. Healthcare and dental insurance. This is a big one, especially when you live in the US, where healthcare and dental care is extremely expensive. But if you do the research, you could be able to have health insurance for free. It might not cover a lot, but it can cover your, yearly checkups. When I was in my early 20s, no one really kind of guided me towards like, well, you can get this health insurance and this one. And I kind of fell in the trap where I was like, well, I can't afford the health insurance at my job, so I'm probably not eligible for any. So I went years and years without having health insurance and dental insurance, and I kind of paid the consequences. Good thing I took care of my teeth, but there was a time where I had a very bad cavity and I had to pay out of pocket to fill that cavity in. What I'm trying to say is, if you deal with certain health issues, or if you just get health insurance in general right away, it's going to help you out when you are heading into your 30s and 40s. It's going to make you feel like, all right, that is checked off my list. I'm healthy, I went to my appointment, my dental appointment, everything's looking good, let's move on to the next thing. So, health insurance and dental insurance is beyond important, especially when you are 20, 21, 22. I know you probably think like, oh, I'm too young, I don't really get sick. Trust me, I had the same mentality. Same mentality, and I needed it, even though I thought I didn't need it. high quality winter coat or winter gear in general. Now, this is another thing that I was on the defense about when I was in my early 20s, where I would just wear a sweatshirt. Spending a decent amount of money on quality items such as winter gear, you're kind of getting your money back, because those, you know, it's like the saying goes, quality over quantity. You know, when you pay for good quality, it's going to last you years and years to come. So I purchased a all vegan winter jacket like 3 years ago, and I still have it till this day. There's no rips on it, nothing. And I could picture that jacket being in my wardrobe for years and years to come, because it's made with such high quality. It was almost $200. But it's well worth it. I kind of already got that money back because I haven't had to purchase any other coats. It's worth it. And the same thing goes for winter boots, shovels, gloves. Purchase higher quality items if you live in a winter area. If you don't, then lucky you. Paying off bad debt. Now, this is not a purchase, but technically it is. When you are paying off your debt, you're technically paying for something. There is good and bad, and I will explain that. Good debt is, you know, a house and things that are more of an investment that make you money towards the end. Bad debt is things that don't make you money and that accumulate a high interest rate, and it's just, again, bad debt. That is credit cards. Get rid of those, pay them off, don't use them as often. If you can, stick with one decent credit card that gives you 1.5% cash back on every purchase. You know, credit cards that you can benefit more on than the company benefiting on you. Student loans, pay them off. I know it's hard. Trust me, I've been there. I've been there where I was like, all right, should I pay the student loan or should I put that money in my account and forget about the student loan? Pay the damn student loan. It's so worth it. I owed $15,000 for a mistake that I made of going to school to be a pharmacy tech back in 10, 11, around there. And I had to pay all that money back even though I didn't graduate. I ended up quitting. I had the dilemma of like, all right, do I pay this? Do I pay the bare minimum or do I not? And I started off with paying the bare minimum, which was $10 a month. Then I realized like that's still not enough because the interest rate was like 28.7. So then I bumped it up to $40, bumped it up to $100, and then once I became a YouTuber, obviously I'm not making millions, but back in 2019, one of my videos went viral and I made $6,000 off of that video. And my student loan was $6,000 exactly. So I took that money that I made from that YouTube video, that's all I made that month, and I threw it all into my student loan and paid it off in one shot. And a lot of people around me was telling me how stupid I was. Why would I do that? You know, it'll eventually disappear. You know, I did think about it for a couple of days. I was like, was it a dumb decision that I paid it off? Then I looked at my credit score and see that it went up 100 points. And then I felt like, you know, the freedom that I felt with paying off that student loan and my credit score going up and just being debt-free in general is priceless. So, long story short, pay off your student loans, pay off your credit card debt. Again, your future self will thank you. It's one less bill, one less heavy bill to think of later on when you want to make a true investment. It's not going to hold you back. Speaking of investments, this is not for everybody, but I want to mention this because this is something that my boyfriend wished he would have done in his early 20s, and that is to purchase a house or an apartment complex or something like that. I see Graham Stephan do this, you know, his whole 20s. He kind of made the right moves throughout all his 20s, and not all of us are lucky like that. Not all of us have role models, and I know I didn't. My mom's made a ton of mistakes with money, so you kind of have to learn on your own with this. And I didn't know that you could purchase a 3 tenement and make money while paying your mortgage, while these tenants are paying your mortgage. So it's definitely something to look into. Again, it's not for everybody. And so I feel like it does take a certain person with a certain mentality and a certain credit score to be able to do this part. When my boyfriend was 30, he purchased his own investment property, which is 3 tenements. So that place is being paid for, though the mortgage is being paid for, and the rest of it is going towards his student loan that he owes. So it's an amazing investment, because by the time you hit 40 or 50, if you start early, that property will be paid off and it'll be 100% profit for you. Of course, you're gonna have to pay taxes and stuff. It's a really, really good investment for your future kids, grandkids. You know, that's a property that you're gonna have forever, and it's going to keep going up in value. And also, you can live there for free. A lot of you guys are asking why we do not live in my boyfriend's tenement for free. It's because that place is so far away from here that he wouldn't be able to go to work. Obviously we live in Boston, and that place is like 80 miles away. So he would have to travel 80 miles every day to, do his real estate job. If you really calculate the gas mileage and all that stuff, it's not worth it. It's better for us to just stay in the city than to move to that place. And the last thing is not a purchase, but it's more of a conscious decision, and that is to be yourself. Who cares what so-and-so is wearing, doing? Who cares who's going to the club with, It doesn't matter, you guys. Trust me. If you are in your early 20s or, even if you're 19, I was at a very vulnerable stage back at that time where I was like, all right, I don't have a boyfriend, I don't have any friends, so I made friends with the wrong crowd. And not the wrong crowd where they put me in danger, but the wrong crowd where I felt like an outcast, so I kind of molded myself to be like them. Most of the friends that I was hanging out with had parents that kind of did everything for them and bought everything for them, and I was a total different case. I came up from nothing, and I still had nothing when I met those people, and I tried to make my life seem like theirs. That's why I got into debt with the car that I purchased to try to impress people around me that weren't worth, impressing. The only person that you should really try to impress is yourself. And I know to some younger people, they're probably gonna think that I sound like an old lady. And I get it, that being with your friends is the most exciting thing when you are when you are young. I'm not gonna lie, I did have fun back in the day going to concerts and, going to the club, but after a while it gets sickening and you want more from life. You want more for your life. So now that I'm older and wiser, I feel like when you're more of yourself and you know that you don't like certain things, it's priceless. And it's not just about saving money, it's about being true to yourself, because when you know better, you do better. One of my favorite sayings, and it is so damn true. So for those out there that are still following the crowd, try to go a whole week of just doing what you want to do. Forget your friends, just do what you want to do and see the outcome of that. Anyways, you guys, I really hoped you enjoyed this video. I try not to do videos like this anymore because I know a lot of you guys were getting really bored of me making the list videos. So I tried to mix up the channel with like vlogs and, things like that. But I truly feel that this video could help somebody in their early 20s that, needs a little push. I wish I would have seen a video like this or read something about, the best purchases you can do in your 20s. So I kind of just wanted to make this for anybody that needed it, wanted to put it out there. With that being said, I hope it was helpful, and I will catch you guys in the next video.